finally waited for Yuan Bingyan. Fans wept with joy. The company was under tremendous pressure to let her take the first step. Over the years, many artists have collapsed one after another, some broke the law, and some did unethical things. They had a bright future, but they did not take the right path. Once they were exposed, they could only be left alone. Too many regrets. Although these people seem to outsiders that they should be punished for making mistakes, from the perspective of fans, they actually hope that the idols they once liked will have a chance to turn around. The lows are leaving you. It is undeniable that these celebrities who collapsed before their accidents were indeed worthy of everyone's liking. Some are handsome, some have good acting skills, and some fans have been chasing stars for more than 10 years. This love can't just disappear. To put it bluntly, if former top players like Li Yifeng and Dang Lun have the opportunity to come back, I believe the fans behind them are still a huge group, and everyone will definitely support them without hesitation. Regrettably, as public figures, celebrities who know the law and break the law have brought extremely bad influence on the public. This is all their own fault, but there are also priorities for celebrities to collapse their houses. Those who reserve a chance for it, such as Fan Bingbing and Yuan Bingyan. After Fan Bingbing's tax turmoil, even if she can never return to her previous status, she can still show her face, and she can still do other careers without acting. She can also speak out on her Weibo account at any time, and she still has a lot of fans offline. Fan Bingbing is much luckier than others to escort him. And Yuan Bingyan was also in the rising period of her career. She was exposed for tax evasion and was fined nearly 1 million yuan. After that, Yuan Bingyan herself has been in hiding, just like other bad artists, but like Fan Bingbing, she is also lucky, at least her account is still there. The company stated that the error was caused by the failure to perform the business in a timely manner. The implication is that Yuan Bingyan herself did not know about it. For such a statement, fans believe Yuan Bingyan, so even if she has no resources and the whole network criticizes her, fans still stick to her. I believe Yuan Bingyan will meet you one day. Sure enough, after more than half a year, I finally waited for Yuan Bingyan. On January 20th, the video of Yuan Bingyan sent by Huanru World was unlocked. In the video, Yuan Bingyan looked in good condition. Although she was over 30 years old, she still had a strong sense of girlhood. Wearing a beret, long-haired shawl, and a white sweater, she didn't look stiff when facing the camera. She spoke softly. She was still the same Yuan Bingyan who was like a little fairy. Seeing this, all the fans wept with joy, saying that bad artists would not have the chance to make their voices heard again, but at the beginning of the new year, they could see Yuan Bingyan, which showed that Huanru Century did not give up on her, so her comeback is just around the corner up. January 17th is also Yuan Bingyan's 31st birthday. Although this birthday has become extraordinarily deserted compared with previous years, fans who love her still send blessings. It is worth mentioning that there is also a charity foundation on her birthday. I would like to thank Yuan Bingyan and her fans for her continuous support for rural education, and publicly praised Yuan Bingyan. It can be seen that Yuan Bingyan has never stopped doing charity. Before that, Yu Zhang also talked about his appreciation for Yuan Bingyan, saying that she is really a kind-hearted little sister with a good character. She can always be seen in charity places, which is admirable. Yuan Bingyan has been doing charity for a long time. I think this is definitely not something that can be pretended by cramping for a long time. Maybe Yuan Bingyan was innocently affected by the taxation matter. This time, Huanru Century asked everyone in the company to send New Year greetings, and Yuan Bingyan was not forgotten. It can be said that she took this first step under tremendous pressure. The comment section of the company's official Weibo has already fallen, and many people Yuan Bingyan's resumption of work is not supported. The main reason is that the first few have already become amateurs. If Yuan Bingyan can live in peace and continue to play in the entertainment industry, then the other fans will definitely have opinions. Therefore, Yuan Bingyan's future is still quite difficult. It depends on the world of Huanru. Will I help her desperately? Personally, I am looking forward to Yuan Bingyan's upcoming dramas. The key is the credit of other people. Wouldn't it be too unfair to others if they don't broadcast it? 02. Tony Leung and Wang Yibo's No Name has pre-sold over 100 million yuan. Is there any hope of surpassing The Wind? Before starting the topic of this issue, let me briefly talk about why I put the two movies No Name and The Wind on the same latitude for comparison. Unnamed is a suspenseful theme of spy wars. When it comes to spy war blockbusters, I think many people, like me, will first think of The Wind. The Wind can be said to be a milestone in Chinese spy films. In 2009, the film The Sound of the Wind was released in the National Day 2009, with a cumulative box office of 235 million yuan. Brushed off 3 domestic golds, receiving a total of 8 award nominations, with Li Bingbing finally relying on Li Ningyu to take the Golden Horse posthumously. In 2023, the Korean version of The Sound of the Wind will also be released. The Sound of Wind, the first spy suspense film in China, is also currently the eternal #1, with no other work yet able to shake its position. It is ranked second in the list of Chinese war films and third in the list of Chinese thrillers, with the top two being Infernal Affairs 1-2 respectively. In terms of commercial box office, film accolades, long tail effect, overseas influence, etc., the pentagonal Invincible Warrior has no shortcomings on all fronts. One must ask, if Wind is such a perfect film, where did Nameless come from to shake its throne as the top Chinese spy film? I'm sure it's just another headline grabber. Wrong. Big mistake. Dead wrong. The film is a genuine spy thriller that has the potential to challenge and even surpass The Sound of the Wind. As for the details of the film, let me elaborate on the following 6 key words. Casting, story background, visual expression, Wang Yibo, dialect narrative, plot expression. If The Sound of the Wind is very perfect barrel, then No Name is definitely a shortboard is very obvious excellent barrel. Shortboard has been elaborated in the title. The follow-up serious objective rational analysis are also please fan friends light spray or report before can read my article and then to judge whether I arbitrarily under the brainless conclusion. The cast, a luxurious lineup, the acting is explosive. The Sound of the Wind in the cast that is a group of stars, the bones gathered, Joseon Lee Bingbing Zhang Hanai Wang Zilin Wang Xiaming Su Yupan Yang De Shi Zheoj Ni Daheng Guan Ye Heng Zhu Su Li Wei Wei Zhang Ye Beiru Gang Dang Jia Jili and Yunia Dai. Even Xiao Ming, who is so greasy at the time that he could squeeze oil, looks like a Japanese man in this film. Wang Xiaming plays a Japanese officer. In terms of the cast of No Name, it's not just that it doesn't lose out, it even has a tendency to be a headache. Let's not talk about Wang Yibo for now, I'll explain later. The most awarded man in the Chinese film industry, I dare say he has won more awards than I have eaten my meals. Of course, it's not like Tony Leung hasn't flopped before. The Ferryman and European Raiders were also ridiculously bad, so bad that it's obvious to all. So will Tony Leung flop again this time? I've watched the entire trailer. I'll post a trailer later for you to get a feel for it, and his performance can be described as a dream back to lust, caution. With similar costumes and aura as Mr. Yi, he takes you back to that tense and exciting underground spy battlefield in a second. I don't have to tell you more, just watch the trailer. Who else is next? Wang Lei, Joseon, Mori Bozuki, Dapan, Wang Chuanjin, Zhang Shuoying, Zhang Jinggai. Of course there is no shortage of new actors, perhaps slightly green in their acting skills, but just from what the trailer presents, everyone is in character. With Joseon and Tony Leung in a 4-way match, a dream version of the acting duo, what other reason could there be to not look forward to the sparks that will collide between the cast of Nameless? The Great Magician, 2012 directed by Dongshen. 2012 The Listener, directed by Max Weifei and Yuan Bingyan. 2016 Heima Heima, directed by Chije Norbu. To sum up, in terms of actors and actresses, The Nameless kicks The Sound of the Wind. The Nameless is slightly inferior to The Sound of the Wind with the addition of 2 greats, Tony Leung and Joseon. Background, compared to The Sound of Wind, Nameless has a more ambitious and open scent. First of all, most of the plot of The Sound of the Wind takes place inside a castle, which, to put it more colloquially, is like a scripted killing of a great actor, with everyone looking for who is the old ghost. What about The Nameless? The standard grand backdrop narrative, with a lot of location shooting is seen in the trailer, and the director's collision of small spaces alongside the sacrifices made by the group of nameless soldiers fighting the enemy in the context of the era. I can't tell which of the two is better or worse, but I can only say that The Unknown is more diverse than The Sound of the Wind and is able to show the topic of idealists struggling on a higher and larger level. From the trailer released so far, you can see that the scenes are exquisite and open. The director has used light to create the atmosphere, with a lot of contrast between light and dark, to maximize the dark and treacherous atmosphere of the spy war. As far as the key word of story setting is concerned, I think Nameless is definitely not inferior to The Sound of the Wind, and can even deliver a perfect score in the hands of a highly competent director. I hope that director Chen will be able to tell the story of this revolutionary issue, and that he will use the film to show the struggles of the unknown underground workers in detail, and take the audience to a world they have never seen before. Expression, director Chen's strengths. Before speaking on this subject, I must first introduce the director. Since his graduation, Chen has made only 4 films, including his graduation work. Look at some of his more recent mature works. Border Clouds, 7.8 on Douban. A History of Romantic Disappearances Douban rating 7.8. Here are the awards and nominations for The Demise of Romantic. The unique style of director Chang has always been present in each film, from writing to shooting to post-production, and the use of light and shadow is particularly memorable. In the case of the demise of romantic, for example, most viewers, even if they can't appreciate the plot of the film, will definitely exclaim after watching it, "This film is beautiful." Yes, if I had to describe the cinematography of director Chen in one word, it would really have to be beautiful. The shots are beautifully composed, the tone is gorgeous, and the violence is aesthetically stunning. Without further ado, post a few screenshots to give you a taste of, well, the director's camera chops. I'm really not worried about the cinematography of No Name, and I'm even vaguely looking forward to it. The film's director has recently released a number of posters, ranging from open and magnificent natural scenery to dark and stern interior scenes, all of which are eye-catching, with the signature symmetrical composition and distinctive color palette. There are too many pictures, so I'll just pick a few to post here, so you can enjoy. Wang Yibo, a popular actor, is a double-edged sword. Wang Yibo is one of the biggest points of dissuasion in No Name, with the key words surrounding him being ugly, poor acting skills, capital blackmail, and so on. The first thing I would say about Wang Yibo's face and acting skills is that he is not a standard actor. It is true that he is not a standard actor's face, and the difference between him and the other actors is obvious to the eye from the trailer. We won't take the likes of Liang Chaowei and Zhou Sun as a descending blow. The newcomer Zhang Jinggai in No Name is indeed not as good as the traditionally beautiful actors, Cecilia Cheung, Fan Bingbing, Wang Choyan, etc. However, her skeleton is still very obvious, and she is able to present the mood of the character with the light and shadow, which is often referred to as a sense of story, and you can still feel her beauty with a certain atmosphere. Here is a screenshot of her in the trailer and a screenshot of her previous work. As for Wang Yibo, in terms of skin, he is still handsome over, and the 2018 creation 101 is a staged shining love beam under stage makeup. I don't think anyone will find him ugly. But as an actor, Wang Yibo does have a less obvious sense of skeleton, which is a problem with most love beams. For example, Wu, who is already in jail, was once a famous god on stage, but when he came to the film, he looked like he was lost in the crowd. It's true that Wang Yibo doesn't have much to offer in terms of looks, but I don't think it's a complete failure. In the interview, Chang mentioned that after the script was completed, he almost imagined in his mind the best person for the main role, and he personally chose Wang Yibo for the role. He mentioned that there was a silent quality in Wang Yibo that struck him, and he thought that this temperament was a perfect match for the character in the play, and Wang Yibo did a great job in the collaboration. So I'm thinking that if Wang Yibo's personal traits and the character's role are a perfect match, at least for now, it can't be said 100% that his acting skills will be the biggest shortcoming. After all, it is also very important for the actor and the character to be similar. I also hope Wang Yibo can prove himself with this film and hit me hard. Dialect, narrative, and plot expression, high barrier to viewing, not easy to sell out as a commercial film. I'll combine the two together, starting with the dialect issue. If you've seen the director's previous film, The Demise of Romantic, you'll know very well that Chang really likes to use dialect, and almost all of his previous film is in Shanghainese. To be honest, dialects can really dissuade an audience, and Shanghai is not considered a popular dialect, comparable to Cantonese, nor is it as easy to understand as dialects such as Northeastern or Sichuanese. A previously released version of the teaser trailer for Wang Yibo and Wang Chuanjin was in Shanghainese throughout, and judging from the trailer, the texture was there, but the dialect was again unintelligible. But fortunately, the cast and crew immediately dispelled the rumor that this time, No Name has learned from the experience of its predecessor and does not use all dialects, not just Shanghai, but also Mandarin and Cantonese. In this way, the disadvantage of dialect is briefly compensated for, and if used properly, the film might even have a sense of texture and layering. Finally, a quick word about the plot. Chang is a director with a very distinctive personal style, which is not only reflected in the aesthetics of the film, but also in the structure of the narrative. The non-linear narrative, in more general terms, is a disruption of the normal order of time and space, which has the advantage of confusing the viewer, making it impossible to guess the beginning or the end, which is complementary to the subject of espionage. But again, this style of narrative can make the film very messy and confusing, making it hard to understand. Let's just say that the linear narrative is something that those who love it will love, but those who don't will find it convoluted. But this time, as we can see from the trailer, Chen has added a lot of fight scenes this time, which might be able to synthesize the fragmented feeling brought by the non-linear narrative to a certain extent. It is surprising that I have written such a long article without realizing it. My initial intention of benchmarking Nameless against The Sound of the Wind is actually quite pure. I have been following Chinese cinema for a long time, but it has been almost 15 years since the birth of The Sound of the Wind, and still no work has been able to become her, let alone surpass her. Chinese cinema needs more fresh blood to be injected into it so that her films can be more exciting and we, as an audience, can experience more and richer visual stories. That's why I hope that Nameless is a Sound of the Wind level production, simply because I love Chinese cinema and I hope that her cinematic journey is flourishing, and while it's shocking that it's been stagnant, the only way to hope is to keep improving.